channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the top fragrances that I think anybody, well, anyone who enjoys women's fragrance can start their collection with. This video was actually recommended by a subscriber, so thank you so much. And I don't think I've ever done a video like this. Now, keep in mind that fragrance is super subjective, so I try to cover a variety of different fragrance palettes, if you will. But today I'm going to be sharing all the scents that I think would make great starter fragrances in your collection. So if you'd like to see my suggestions, please keep watching. Okay, so before we get into this video, I want to address the elephant in the room. I sprained my wrist and it's doing a lot better. So I'm just trying to keep it stable, and I'm hopefully not gonna move it too much today. So that is the new fashion accessory that I'm donning. I hope it's not too distracting. So let's get into my picks. I tend to go for warm, woodsy, oudy, sweet, floral fragrances, and I know that sounds all over the place. The one scent that I'm not too fond of is like an oriental scent. Anything spicy, for the most part, I'm not going to really prefer in my fragrances. So I do have fragrances today that are in my collection and some that are not in my collection. None of these fragrances have to necessarily be my favorites. I've been collecting fragrance for probably since I was 18, but maybe within the last 5 to 6 years, I've kind of become a little obsessed. I get about 4 new fragrances every season. I know. If you'd like to see my entire fragrance collection, I will link that down below. So let's start with the fragrances that I actually have in my collection. The first I'm gonna talk about is Prada's La Femme. This is a newer scent in my collection, and the first time this came on my radar, it was maybe a few years ago. I gifted it to my friend for her birthday, and I was afraid to try it. This is a tuberose bomb. Just go with me, because in my opinion, when you're starting your fragrance collection, you might not really know which scent profile you like. Like, I love a tuberose, but I know that there are lots of women and men who cannot stand tuberose. It's pretty polarizing. You either hate it or love it. It's very strong. It can be seen as like an old lady scent. I think tuberose is a very classically chic fragrance note, and that gives us Prada's La Femme. To me, it is heavy, intense tuberose. This is such a classic scent. This is like a church, a work scent, like an afternoon tea, something very fabulous where you're getting dressed up and you're wearing really nice clothing and you just feel elegant and chic and feminine. This is that scent. But if you do not like tuberose, or if you are not a fan of a heavier floral, you probably will want to pass on this. But if you do like tuberose and you like intense floral scents, I think you would be able to blindly purchase this. I blindly purchased it and I love it. Okay, my next scent is actually one of the favorites in my collection, and this is Giorgio Armani's C. Now, this is a scent that I love specifically for the winter time. I might wear this tonight. This is caramel and vanilla, and maybe a little bit of spiciness to it, but it's not overpowering. It's more caramel and vanilla. It's a floral scent. It's beautiful. It's chic. This to me is a scent that I wear at night. I think this could be an everyday scent. My girl from Brown Girl Luxe was saying, I believe that this is her new everyday scent. It definitely is, but she's sexy. Like, I like reserving her for at night in the summertime. We're on a patio. It's date night. Super sexy, sweet, syrupy. Men will love this, okay? This is a really beautiful scent. So if you like something that is sweet, not too floral, well, it is a floral scent. A heavier, sweet floral scent without being fruity, I think you would really enjoy this. This to me is just summer date night in a bottle, and I adore it. Okay, next we have Versace's Dylan Blue. This is one that I don't use too much, but every time I rediscover it, I love it. Now I have to give a shout out to my friend. I know you're watching this. She told me about this maybe 2 to 3 years ago. She said that she purchased Versace's Dylan Blue, and I received it and I loved it, and I was on a Dylan Blue train for a few months. That's kind of how I get with my fragrances. When I receive something, I'm like in that moment and I use it for a complete month. This is a fruity, floral, but majority fruity scent. This reminds me of an apple scent. It's like a more adult heavy, sexy version of like a Britney Spears fragrance from way back in the day. This is beautiful. I do know some ladies say that it can give them a headache, so you do want to be mindful of that, but this is a heavy, fruity floral scent. That's what it is in a bottle. I'm actually surprised that this is from Versace, and this is Dylan Blue for her because they do have a men's version as well. When I think of Versace scents, I think of elegant and robust and like a head turner. Not to say that this isn't her, but this is more, it's more like fun. It's more, yeah. When I think of Versace, I do think exuberant and bright and fun, but I think of bold and classic and mature. This is not that, but it's a really, really nice, intensely beautiful fruity floral scent. It reminds me of apples. It reminds me of something by Britney Spears. So if you love a fruity floral, she's your girl. Okay, next we have a scent that I think every woman needs in her collection if you enjoy it. This is Chanel's Coco Mademoiselle. I love this scent. I purchased this maybe less than a year ago. This is so nostalgic to me because my mother wore this when I was a child, and my mom is not like myself. She doesn't like collect things like I do. So this is one of them, and she wore this so much when I was a child. So whenever I smell it, I just think of my mom. It's a citrusy, patchouli, fresh, strong, classically chic scent. Patchouli, citrus, maybe some light white florals, but it definitely has like a spiciness to it. It's very cologne-y. If you know Chanel DNA, this is definitely Chanel DNA. It's an intense fragrance to me. It's very long lasting. It packs a punch. I really, really like this one. This is something that I would wear to work, to church, something where I want to be classically chic and really stand out. I love this one, and I think this goes really well with my body chemistry. So if you like patchouli, which is another one of those scents that can be kind of polarizing, if you love citrus and patchouli, you would really like this because it's not one of my favorites, but I really had to get it for the nostalgia because it reminds me of my mother. Okay, and on classically chic fragrances, our next one is Chloe Eau de Parfum by Chloe. I always talk about this fragrance because I do not like the bottle. If you see the bottle, it is tarnished. Now there's a story behind why they use genuine silver on the bottle. There's a story behind the ridges in the glass. That's one of the things that really captivates me about fragrance. I need you to sell me a story. Either sell me a story, sell me a scent, or create a nostalgic moment. Like, that is what draws me to fragrance. And I will link an article about how they constructed this bottle of Chloe fragrance because I do, you know, for the fellow nerds, I think it's an interesting story. But anyway, so there's a reason why the bottle tarnishes, but because of that, I don't use this too much. I purchased a roller ball, and when I want to wear this scent, I use the roller ball. This is another classic, chic, very feminine fragrance. This is citrus, white florals. It reminds me of the Chanel scent, but less citrusy and more white floral. I'm gonna put the notes of all these fragrances across the screen because for some reason the notes aren't coming to me, but it's a very distinctive, like sharp, citrusy, beautiful, light white floral scent. Very classic, very elegant. This to me is signature scent worthy. This is an everyday scent. It's also a church or work scent to me. Now, when I think of church and work scents, I think of things that are classic and elegant, things that wouldn't be too offensive if you're mixing and mingling with lots of different people. I definitely wouldn't wear the Versace Dylan Blue as a work or church scent because it can be very polarizing. It's an intense fruity floral, but this is a very safe blind buy. Like I said, I don't use this bottle too much, but I love my rollerball. Okay, and the last scent of things that I actually have within my collection is Viktor & Rolf's Flower Bomb. So Viktor & Rolf's Flower Bomb is an interesting scent. This is one that I don't wear all too often. Once again, I kind of purchased it for the nostalgia, These are two scents that my mom has worn throughout her lifetime that I really I have such fond memories of her when I think of these fragrances. And nostalgia is everything to me. I love when a fragrance can transcend me to a time or place that just brings up all happy and festive emotions and moments. This is a caramel, vanilla, heavy floral scent. It's a spicy scent, but the spice is not overpowering. I'm not sure why I don't wear this scent all too often. I did receive it many years ago. It's nice, it's just very heavy. Now, it's interesting because my mother wore this to work. So this was her signature scent for a while, and it doesn't smell caramel on her. It smells spicy and like a white floral. So also you have to take into account your own unique body chemistry, but on me, this is a deep, heavy, musky caramel, vanilla floral scent with a little bit of spice. I do think I'm gonna pull it to the top shelf of my fragrance cabinet this year and see if I get more wear out of it in the fall and winter, because for me, it's more of a fall or winter scent. But I do think a lot of ladies like this. A lot of ladies have this in their collections when I'm viewing fragrance collections on YouTube. So I think this will be a great starter scent if you like a heavy, spicy, caramel, really sexy scent. Okay, now let's get on to the fragrances that I don't have in my collection, but I still wanted to share. Oh, wait. Never mind, I have one more that I actually own. This is Lancome's Idole, and it actually has a case because at the time, it was the world's thinnest fragrance. So this is what the fragrance looks like. Once again, this is Lancome's Idole. Probably my favorite everyday, wear everywhere signature vibe, because I don't do signature scents because I love fragrance too much, but this is a safe one. I think I talked about this on my Instagram stories one day, and the majority of the people who responded own this scent. This is lychee, pear, freesia, a little bit of citrus notes. It's a very light, citrusy, floral scent. It might have some fruit in here, but it's not prominent. Maybe it's like a middle layer in terms of fragrance notes. I love this. Now, I know I don't use it too much, but like I said, I have over 50 fragrances, but this is one that I've recently discovered over the past month. Well, rediscovered. It's so beautiful. It's wear everywhere. It's just a go-to fragrance. And if you are just looking for something really light and you don't know what your scent profile is, Lancome's Idole. I do not think you can go wrong with this. I think out of all the fragrances that I'm going to speak about today, this is the most universal. So if you are watching this video and you don't have a clue what your scent palette or your taste is like in fragrance, Lancome's Idole, I think you'd really be pleased with this. Okay, now let's get into the scents that I don't own. So the first is going to be Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue. Now hear me out. I am not a fan of this scent at all. To me, it's just way too citrusy, but this is one of those scents where if you're buying your first fragrance, you're probably eventually going to own Light Blue. To me, it's just a really nice light citrus scent. It's a great summer and spring scent. To me, it just doesn't have enough interesting qualities to it, but it is a beautiful scent. And I know when I was starting out building my fragrance collection, a lot of ladies had this one, and the men's version is also a great starter fragrance, if you will, just because I feel like if you're getting into fragrance, you might not know where you lie in terms of a light scent, something that's a little depthy but not too heavy, or something really robust and heavy. I tend to gravitate towards the robust, heavy scents, but Light Blue is definitely a great option. The next scent is one that I want to get my hands on. It is Balenciaga Flora Botanica. This is another scent that most women absolutely love. It's a floral scent, but it's a little fresh and crisp. It's gorgeous. I do believe it's discontinued now, so it's hard to find, but if I can find a link, I will definitely leave it down below. I did receive a sample of this one a few months ago, and I fell in love. It's an OG scent that so many women love, so that's definitely another great one. Once again, it's a fresh floral with like green notes in it. It is just absolutely stunning. I did not expect to like it that much, but that would be a great starter fragrance if you can find it. My next scent is another scent that I used to love and I used to own in my collection, but I have since used it up and decided not to repurchase it. It is Marc Jacobs Daisy Oh So Fresh, and I always describe that scent as being a floral scent that smells like laundry detergent. It's definitely a floral scent, as the name would suggest, Daisy Oh So Fresh. It's a flanker or another version of the original, which is Marc Jacobs Daisy, which is also another good one. That's a bonus one. I'll link that down below. But Daisy Oh So Fresh smells like when somebody walks by and their mom or their grandmother does their laundry and it just smells so good. It's like fresh and clean, and that's Daisy Oh So Fresh. Now, the reason why I have not since repurchased it, it's just a little too light. And if you check out my full fragrance collection down below, I'm kind of phasing out the fragrances that are a little too, and I want them that are like, yes, give it to me. I need sex appeal. I need something heavy and robust. So for those reasons alone, the Marc Jacobs Daisy Oh So Fresh doesn't necessarily work for me anymore, but I think that's a great starter fragrance if you love something floral and fresh. Very, very fresh and very just beautiful and feminine. Okay, and the last one that I'm going to talk about that I don't own is a plethora of fragrances, and they are Chanel Chance. Now they have Chanel Chance, the original Eau de Parfum, and then they have the Chanel Chance Eau de Toilette. I do believe I own the pink liquid and I did enjoy it. There's a green liquid. I believe there's a blue liquid. The colored varieties that are not yellow are all Eau de Toilettes, I believe. Those are really nice scents. Now, I always say the same thing. Chanel fragrances all, to me, have the same DNA. They're all very intense and strong and robust. They're very classic, and sometimes they can lean old lady-ish. That's my opinion. But the Chanel Chance Eau de Toilettes are light. They're fresh. They're something that I think someone in their 20s would enjoy. I got my first Chanel Chance fragrance, I believe, when I was in college, and I adored it. Now, I haven't repurchased it because it's just a little too simple for me in terms of the fragrance notes. But that was a floral, citrusy scent, the pink one, and it was so beautiful. But once again, I have parted with it. So the Chanel Chance Eau de Toilettes are great if you're just starting out your collection. Okay, and I do have one honorable mention, because if you see my full fragrance collection, you're going to know that I love niche or niche fragrances. Potato. I love niche fragrances because they're just a little different sometimes. Now, I'm definitely not someone who thinks that I don't want to smell like everybody else. If everybody else is wearing Giorgio Armani C, please believe I'm still gonna wear it because it's beautiful and it evokes memories. Fragrance is nostalgic. So to me, it's not gonna matter. But a lot of times the niche fragrances are just a little more interesting. They're a little something different. And the one scent that I think is a perfect first niche fragrance is Parfums de Marly Delina. Now, I do not own the original. I do have a dupe. I'm not gonna be recommending that one today, but the original is beautiful. It's a sparkling, effervescent rose, raspberry. It is just, it's beautiful. It's a sparkling, fresh, like lovely scent. I love it, love it, love it. Now, personally, I enjoy the exclusive version more than the original because the exclusive one is a bit more depthy and sexy, while the regular Delina is a bit more coy and everyday and just feminine and pretty. I mean, we love her as well, but I do like the exclusive version. But I think the original would be a nice starter niche fragrance because you get to see what it's like when a scent is a little different. Maybe it's masterfully blended, but Delina, I think, is a good across the board fragrance. So definitely check that out, and I will link that down below. Whew, so that's it, guys. Those are all the fragrances that I would suggest if you are getting into fragrance and trying to build a collection. Don't feel the need to be like myself and get 4 new fragrances every season. I just love fragrance, but fragrance is so fun. As you can see how I experience and describe fragrances, it's all about emotion. I wear a different fragrance every day depending on how I'm feeling, where I'm going, who I'm gonna be with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video so much. I love you for watching. Let me know any comments or questions you have down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.